Hey, it's Don the Auction Professor. I thought I would go over a hack that I was surprised no one else that I've talked to has ever heard of, and they thought it was even an odd idea. I have many items here that I bought that have permanent Sharpie written on them. Very, very permanent in the most aspect of it. It's hard to get off for pretty much anybody. It takes you a few moments no matter what you use. I've got something that gets it off, whether it's on plastic, the cardboard, saran, record gloss covers, whatever it's on, it works probably 90% of the time. An Expo. I don't know if you're familiar with what a dry eraser is. I usually buy the actual name brand Expo because you can get them cheap in a big pack offline. But other ones work too, I'm sure. I haven't tried them personally, but Expo I know works. This is literally not smearable. It's nothing. It's stuck on there. Again, it's with the Sharpie. I'm going to take the Expo and we're going to show you real quick how quick it comes off. You can hear it's got the chemicals in it. And again, this is an Expo. It's completely gone. There is nothing left. This is a brand new package, just like you see it written on even from the stores. It takes it right off. Another thing here, brand new. It's vintage. This is from '84 CBS Toys. I sell these too. These go very well. Some of these I've sold for 70 bucks, but this is a pickup, $1.55. And again, it's so quick. It's ridiculous that you would try any other method to do this. It doesn't work on everything. But again, it takes it right off without any residue, anything chemical. The smell goes away just like that. And again, whatever it is, I buy these all the time. I make a lot of money on these, depending on the type of tape it is. Again, this Expo. You got to be careful on something, so you should always test it to make sure it's not going to get rid of the ink on the item itself. I do it in a non-conspicuous area or somewhere that you wouldn't see very well, or just touch it on a small spot at the bottom underneath something of the same type of paper and then go at it from there. Again, it literally works on hundreds of items, clothing tags, whatever you could possibly imagine. The chemicals in the Expo actually do something to get rid of the permanence of the chemicals in the Sharpie, and any kind of Sharpie like that. Again, this is a sealed record. I paid $1 for it. It's worth 14, 15 bucks. I love soundtracks. I've got some mounted on the wall, mostly war movies like Kelly's Heroes, Von Ryan's Express, Force 10 from Navarone. I love all the old movies. Watched them with my father. Grew up on them. My kids watch them with me too. Band of Brothers, if you haven't seen that, I call out to that. That's one of my favorites of all times. I've watched it, I don't know how many times. We've got a 10-foot screen. We'll have a get-together. Kids will come over, friends, the kids that work for us, and we'll all sit down and watch a couple movies. But the Expo works on so many things. I can't believe that no one's heard of this. I just thought it was just, a standard thing that people would have known. I found it out by accident one day. And it worked. And it works on so many things. China, whatever you're using, try an Expo first in a small area. It's going to save you time. I literally, reason I thought I'd put this video up today, I was looking through, in fact, the gentleman I was talking about, that we were looking at another seller's account, and I was trying to figure out his sell-through versus mine, and he had items up just like these with the marker literally on them. It just looked, I'm not saying tacky, but I would have gotten it off, and it would have been easy. I understand when you get a ton of things in, it's not practical to sit there and spend 10 minutes on each item getting that off, but this is like a couple seconds for each item, and it takes it off. This is just random items. In fact, just so you can see that I'm not just coming up with something weird, this is a Sharpie, a normal Sharpie. We're going to write it on here, just some scribbles up on there. I'm going to let it set for a minute so it has time to dry and it's not smeared. But I've got probably 10 or 15 hacks that work just as well with this for other things that you do and sell, clothing hacks, the whole works. It's probably things that other people have thought of, I would hope, in the clothing aspect, but getting rid of smells, I've got a good thing to do with that, with paper-wise. And I had a question asked on what I do with items they have a musky smell. I don't buy them. I have I was bitten by a spider. If I've talked about this in the past once or twice. I'm a brown recluse and was bedridden for 2 months. Ever since then, I've had issues with I can't eat dairy and pancreatic issues, and it's affected me, so I avoid all kinds of stuff that have any mold or anything that allergic reaction. I have dogs that now bother me that never did before this, and it's an issue with internal organs from the damage from the spider bites, which will probably affect me till I die, but that's just the way it is. Life goes on. But let's go back to this. This has been on here, dry as can be. Again, I just wrote on this thing with the Sharpie. It's a standardized package that you get most toys in, and I've already done it once in the same spot, so I can show you that it doesn't destroy anything. And all it takes is a piece of paper towel. You do this quite often, you'll get the gist of it, but it's all gone again. I mean, wherever you write it on this one, or most things like this, it works great on toys, it works great on box of dishes, or anything like that. I've tried it on pretty much anything I get. And again, there are some things, some paper items that it won't do. Anything that's even semi-porous, it'll stick to the cover. You'll be able to get some of it off, but you actually might make it worse. So that's why I say test it in a small, tiny area. Get yourself one of the small Expos. I have one too, but it's on the other side. But if you get the small Expos, you can just tap it in a little area and wipe it off and see what it does to the printing before you attempt to remove the other part of it. This will work on some other grease pencils and things like that too. I've got some other things along this line that remove other items like wax and things like that. Hacks I have on paper, getting rid of wrinkles in paper. I repair and reattach paper with the actual official non-acidic rice paper and using the proper glue and the whole works. I've done paper and been into paper. I collect paper. So for me, I've learned what it takes to do it as the collector as well now as a seller. So anything you do or alter other than something like taking off marker, you always have to list. Otherwise, that is it's a scam in my book. You can't sell anything that you've altered or fixed or repaired without telling them. That would be trickery or thievery, trying to get more money for something that's been altered. So again, list anything you do. It's not a crime if you're telling them what's been done. To fix something or make it more appealing or more usable, or like if you glued a piece that was on that fell off on a piece of jewelry or something, or anything along that line, you want to let them know. So again, Don the Auction Professor, the Expo hack. This will fix you all over the place and all kinds of merchandise. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed it, tell your friends, and subscribe.